Back in Namyang Kung Fu Retreat in Thailand. Woo! You have Crane, the master of the class today. Training with Joe. Really hard training on the Mabu position. It's a laying down class. No jokes, you are in a Kung Fu retreat in Thailand. We are in Namyang, in the north of Thailand, in Pai, and here we train real Kung Fu. Today we're gonna do, this afternoon, at least 2.5 hours, weapons. The first part is defense against weapon, and the second part is gonna be weapons. The Tentao single knife, I think it's gonna be today. And we're gonna learn the end of it.
Okay.
The full routine.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Ready? More energy, more footwork, more energy, more energy.
Waking up from my nap.
Yeah, waking up. Up, and a move, and you move. So we're ready, we're gonna do that in a few minutes. Stay with us, it's gonna start soon. Everyone's coming down. We have Tuba, we have Master Yan, we have Guy with us, we have Joe that you just saw. I don't think Crane's gonna stay long with us. I don't think he really likes defense against weapon. We'll see. So if you're interested, here it's a retreat. We all live here every day. And if you want to check out on the website, kungfuretreat.com, really easy, kungfuretreat.com. Just check that out right now if you just live stream with us. Start the live stream with us right now. And you can stay one day, one class, 1 week, forever. Yeah. Good afternoon, Master Yan.
So I think we're all set. If we can make 2 lines. We've got an odd number of people now, but hopefully we get another one. Okay guys, so here we go, bow. And we're going to be doing a session on self-defense, starting with defense against weapons, and then we'll do a little bit freehand defense. And then halfway through, Buddha's son's going to take over, and he's going to do the lesson on the Kung Fu weapons, the traditional weapons. Okay, little warm up to start with, so just a little bit of jogging. Jogging and sprints, just to get us going before we start doing the weapons. And relax, shoulders, roll them forwards and back. Now in and out. And twist. Twist the waist. And side to side. Now forwards and back. And twisting around from the waist. And the other way around. Now wrists. Rotate your wrists, roll them round. And the other way. Up and down. And then the knees. Circle around your knees, warming up your hip. And the other way. And change. And the other way. And that's great. Okay, so I'd like you to find a partner. We can have one group working as a 3. And I'd like you to take one of the rubber knives from the little pile over there. So now we're going to start off doing some knife defenses. And we're just using rubber knives for the day. Okay. First one that we're going to try. Lunging, Chris is going to lunge towards me. I'm going to slap the hand to cause her to drop the knife. Cassia, could you do that? Lunge. That way. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a shock when you get hit. If you try yourself, you push your wrist over this way, you find that your fingers start to open. It causes the fingers to open, and that releases the grip on a knife. Now, to work, you've got to take somebody by surprise. So you can't hang around, you've got to do it quick. You won't get a second chance. So it's a quick response in an emergency. Okay. I'd like you to give it a try. Give it a try, let's take a look. That was good. That was very good. Hold on. Grip with this hand. When he lunges, grip like that on the wrist. Now you've got to get the back of his hand there, like that. Yeah. That's it. That's right. Yep.
To really hit the outside of the hand.
Fingers up, that way. Make sure that everybody has a go at this. Make sure everybody takes a turn, because we won't do it for too long. You sharp, slap. Okay. Grip with this hand and slap like that. That's it, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. If you don't get it the first time, you're probably not going to get it. So we just switched to doing another technique. You have to be kind of relaxed and fast. Relax your hand, and you hit it like that, yeah. Okay, guys, and rest for a moment. We just check this technique a little bit more. Let's see, Guy, you can do it with me. That's the grip, yeah? Not turning across there. has to be this way to make this technique work. The first thing that you want to do is get that off of the line towards your body. Before he's let go of the knife, you've still got him over here. Now you've reduced the threat level. Yeah. And when you slap, it's that way, and it's got to be fast. Yeah. It's got to be fast, and it's got to be a little bit unexpected that way. Yeah. If he knows what's coming, he's going to tighten the grip, and it won't work. Yeah. When the push is that way, the wrist can be bent. When he, instead of trying to drive forward, just locks it up still, then it won't bend. But when it's on the forward push, the muscles are engaged in a different way. Then it'll bend. Okay. A little bit of advice on these knife defenses. We don't want to be in a situation where we have to defend against the knife, because that's a bad situation. It's very easy to kill someone with a knife. If I remember right, I've known about 5 people who have killed other people with knives unintentionally. They just wanted to get the guy to back off, or they didn't mean to kill him, but the guy died. Yeah. And all of them ended up doing life in prison, which is not good. So we don't want to be in this situation of facing a knife, because the chances of dying are quite high. If we do have to face a knife, we're not going to stand there. We've got to do something, and we're going to have to act decisively. Yeah. If you can dodge out the way, maybe that's good. Yeah. If you can't, if you have to engage, well, you better do it well. Yeah. There is no guarantee that the technique is going to work. There's no guarantee that any technique in martial arts is going to work. If there was a guaranteed technique that would win every boxing match or every MMA fight, of course, you'd be out there winning all of them, but there isn't. There's no technique that guarantees you're going to win. But all these techniques are a lot better than nothing. Yeah? But you've got to be fast when you do them. Okay. Suppose you don't get the knife out of the person's hand. Well, we'll better have a backup plan. Selena, do you want to be my partner for the moment? What else can we do? Okay, so this is an interesting one, because it's basically an application of one of the moves in our Xuanyang, white crane soft dart. Remember the boatman rowing a boat? It just comes towards the end, some of you haven't got here yet. We're going to watch it slowly, slow motion. You're pulling the person into their move. You're going with their own momentum. So she's coming forward and I carry forward, but I also direct down. Yeah. Here we go, directing downwards. So that's getting a much more favourable position, but I also want to get this wrist lock on here. Twist. Now the weapon comes out of her hand here. When you do this pressure against the wrist, that's what releases the grip. Now you got the knife. Oh, that's much better, isn't it? Yeah. I started off facing someone with a knife. Now they're facing me with a knife. That's not so good from their point of view. Yeah. Okay, thanks Selena. Summary, same interception, engage the other hand, lengthen your stance and drop down and get that little wrist twist at the end. So I would like you to try that with your partner, yeah? And I'll come round and help. You will need a partner. Okay, so Cassia, that hasn't gone perfectly, and the reason is that you didn't bring him across your body. So let's just go back to the start again. That hand intercepts, thumb at the bottom. Now you're going to grip with the other hand and step back with your right. Right, drawing him down. Why hasn't that gone how I wanted it to go? Yeah, the right hand, thumb at the top. Well, sometimes you just got to go with what happens, and that's not a bad position you're in there. That's not a bad position. But if you like to let me kind of walk you through that one. Yeah, you're knifing me. Grip there. Both thumbs are at the bottom. Yeah, not there. That's a comfortable grip. Yeah. Now from there I can flick his wrist. Yeah. That opens it. So the key was to have both thumbs at the bottom to do that little flick.
If possible, stand on the outside of his body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I'm standing on the inside, and maybe that's part of the problem.
So if I'm
Yeah.
coming at you,
Thumb at the bottom. Yeah. No, both thumbs at the bottom. Now we got it. And then you can just go back to where you were and do that.
yes.
And then we got him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So have another look here. Yeah, right, okay. That's pretty good. Now, just flip that round that way, yeah, and then you get the knife. That's great. So can I just see that one more time? Yep. Okay, that's it. That's pretty good. Can we do that one again? Let me have a little look. Okay, so I think ideally what I like to see you do is that. So you start with your right against the left. Yeah? And it's an easy way to take the knife across your body, because as you come in with the hand, your waist naturally turns and that goes out there, and then you grip with the other one. Yeah. Once more please. 1, 2, and down we go. All right, there you go. Well done. So we want to do this with minimum effort. So when he lunges, you come towards me. Just drop him down, yeah? And up goes the knife. So all we want to do is like 1, and your body weight is what pulls him down, yeah? We don't want to try to use too much strength, just body weight, yeah? There you go. That's it, yeah. Quick as you can, get the knife out. Sorry. Has everyone changed over? Have you all had a go? Have you changed over? Yeah? Okay. We're going to do 2. Oh, do we have any questions at the moment?
Just
Any
the
questions?
footwork on that a little bit. Can you, so if I'm stepping out of the, sorry, if I'm stepping out of the way here, and I'm just I'm lunging in this direction, correct?
Yes.
So I'm pulling her this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the key principle is that the momentum of the attack is forward. Yeah, it's going towards you. If you simply go with that forward momentum, then your opponent's really doing most of the work for you.
Because they're already in that direction.
Yeah, they're already going in that direction. So we just encourage them to go in the direction that they're already going, but also slightly redirect down. Yeah. Then it's kind of like you're using their momentum, their force. Yeah. Great. So we're going to do 2 more of these. Next one, this is the trickiest, but if we can do this one, well, you're quite good. So we're going to start off the same way. Knife lunge, and I'm going to get him like that and lock his shoulder. Now, it wasn't perfect. I should have actually been a little bit more towards the shoulder. This, thanks, is called a figure 4 arm lock. I'll show you why. This is supposed to look like a number 4. That triangle with the cross over there should look like the number 4. And that helps you remember how to do it. Thanks. And it's putting a lock on the shoulder and overextending the shoulder. Could you do a knife lunge towards me? Just to demonstrate, yep. That's it. There you go. Now, my arm is behind the shoulder and I'm levering that way. Yeah, and the person's got to go, otherwise the shoulder will pop out. Yeah. Thanks. First priority is to take them down, even if they're still holding the knife. The shoulder lock won't necessarily get them to drop the knife, but you should be able to get them to hit the floor. Yeah. Well, that's a good start. Let's try. Let's try. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. pull him a little bit to start with. Ah, now flick him back. And yeah, disarm here, behind his shoulder, grip the wrist, and that way, yeah.
I think that's correct.
It is, but it's somehow not working, is that?
Well, okay, so
Let's take a look.
here, I go underneath.
Yeah. Yeah, now that should work. I think we'll extend your
And I get
there.
like,
So
yeah.
she's a little bit nearer to your elbow. And then you put the pressure on here. Yeah.
It's working.
That's working. That's working, yeah.
There's nothing I can do with this hand. It's stuck.
Yeah, it's locked.
Yeah.
You lock the shoulder and it's about to
Yeah,
pop
and if I
out.
were to-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Correct. Okay. One more time.
So then outside, underneath, and then I think it's even better would be like,
No, this is better.
And the biggest triangle as possible
Yeah.
here. So
so it's a 4 there.
near to your elbow, near to Cassie's shoulder. And we got max. The bigger the triangle, the more leverage you get.
You want to get the shoulder as close to my shoulder as possible then, because that
He-
creates the bigger triangle. The more underneath
he-
they get in, the better, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wanna try?
Yeah. Okay. So I need to go outside.
I'll do it. Doesn't matter.
Not quite. First of all, do the grip again and yeah, give a little pull to overextend him, then flick him back. Back that way. Ah ha ha. Now, when he's gone back, that's when you get that grip and you're on the shoulder lock. Yeah. Okay, guys. Are we? Any questions? Any questions with this one?
We
Yeah.
pull one hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
One hand like
You, that's right. Yeah. And then that's right. And then under. Yeah. So do that one more time. Yeah. That's good. As close to your elbow as possible because you want to make this triangle here as big as possible. And that increases your leverage. Then when you turn that way, you're going to lever somebody down. Yeah.
So the key is really the elbow behind the shoulder because you
Yes.
control the leverage is here.
That gives you the maximum leverage, elbow behind shoulder. Try one more, round, and reach up to the wrist now. This is here is where you've got to keep the pressure up. All the time you have pressure there, he's going down, yeah. Okay, guys. Rest. So, okay. Now we'll do an easy one. Yeah, that was the hard one. Now we'll do an easy one. Yeah. Guy, can you come and do the knife attack? Yeah. Very simple one. Yeah. Let's look at it again. Extend, flick him back, and then just take him down that way. It's the same like the figure 4, but you're not bothering to use the other hand. Yeah. Thanks. To do this, you got to take someone a bit by surprise. Now, you've got an advantage here. Yeah. Your attacker, they think they've got a big advantage here. They got a knife and you haven't. They're holding all the aces. And they probably think that you're really frightened. Yeah. Because they're going to knife you. Yeah. That's quite likely. If they're like a bully, bullies feed off people's fear. Yeah. That's what they want. They want you to be afraid of them because it boosts their ego. Yeah. There they are, they've got a knife and you haven't. Yeah. So they're not expecting you to react and suddenly put them into a bad position. That's your advantage, but you better make the most of it because you will only get them by surprise once. Yeah. If you don't make it work the first time, you ain't going to get a second chance. But you do have that little bit of an advantage. Yeah. You've got to get them by surprise. Let's see that one again. Different people will always react in different ways. Joe, could you do that knife attack against me? Yeah. There we go. Pull, bend him back. There's the lock on the shoulder there. As he flinches from that, you take him down to the ground. Yeah. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, let's give it a try.
Is it same side?
Okay, now this hand.
Left. Okay, gotcha. I don't know why I always go for
Yeah.
So if we catch and twist like this,
Yep.
so then I don't want to hurt her, so
Just
is the move?
pull
just
this
pull.
way to bring it. Now, because it was slowed down, it just didn't kind of work. I had a hand. I don't mind you. No, I didn't pull hard enough. Come on, I have to get harder. Yeah. Yep. You've got to keep the lock on. You've got to keep the lock on there. So if someone doesn't cooperate, okay, here's your scenario. Here's the truth. Yeah. Scenario 1. That happens. Yeah. You know towards me. Yeah. I do that, and she doesn't do what, and it's like, oh no. No. All right. Yeah. I give up. Yeah. You can't give up. Yeah. So scenario 2. You got to adapt and improvise. Yeah. It doesn't go how I wanted it to go. She's not going down. Okay, maybe I'll put that on. Yeah. I've got to do something else. As soon as you hit her, oh, it's not working. Switch tactic. Yeah. That's what you have to do. Then you kind of keeping one step ahead of the other person. If you can keep a lock on here, that's great, and you got to kind of twist around. If you can't, you just do something else. There's a lot of ways to improvise. I'll see if I can show you. Think of. Go for somewhere they're not expecting. But you won't get it to work perfectly every time. That's why you've got to be adaptable. That's why you learn different techniques. So the figure 4 arm lock, where we're getting them there, it's actually quite difficult to put on. So for most people, this one will work easier. Go on. Now, if it doesn't work easy on Selena, I get the figure 4, yeah? Okay. If that's still not working very well, I'll do something else, yeah? That's how we got to be. Yeah.
Master,
Yeah.
you're just controlling the wrist with one hand and then it's smooth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here, forward.
That's right. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
No, so yeah, if I'm like you're saying, if I think I have the advantage. Coming at you, and you're like,
And relax. And relax. Okay, guys. Any questions before we kind of change activity a little bit? No, then could you put the knives back on the pile of knives? Well, okay. If I can lock, that's not a very good lock, your hand that way, it's loosening the grip on a knife. Yeah. There's a few different ways to get that lock. The most obvious one would be if I had you in this hand. Yeah. Now, you do. Okay, too late. There you go. That's. If you grab the arm this way, then your hand will naturally slide down until you get to the wrist, which is the narrowest point. Yeah? And then you stop because you're at the narrowest point. Then you're in the perfect position to get that leverage on there. Yeah. When we block a punch, the usual way for blocking a punch, if that's going a little bit higher, if you're going for my throat with the knife, go for there. Yeah, there. And up. Yeah. That's a bonus one. I wasn't going to do that one this afternoon, but as soon as you're asking. But any way that you can do that to the wrist, you're going to loosen the grip. If someone has got their wrist really hard, then the knife won't come out of the hand. Yeah? So you have to kind of make it by surprise. But all the time the knife's going forward, you should get that. It should go on. Yeah. We'll try that, but one more thing before we do. You have to judge the situation you're in and you react according to the situation. Now, I'm sort of waiting for him to do a lunge with the knife, and he's being slow. So I've just gone straight in. Yeah. If you're in this situation, if someone is close enough for you to grip their arm, grip it. Yeah. Why are we saying that? That's really dangerous. Yeah. If that does that, I'm probably dead. It's just gone up through the diaphragm into the heart. That's the trajectory that knife's on, yeah? And it pierces my heart, and then I'm done for, yeah? Even if it just pierces the diaphragm, I'm in really bad trouble. Yeah? If it goes into my gut, it's incredibly painful. It has a apparently one of the most painful places to be stabbed. Your guts are very sensitive. You think about you've got trapped wind in your gut, how painful it is. Extrapolate that to having 4 inches of knife in your gut. Yeah. So I don't want to be stabbed. So I don't need to wait for him to lunge if I can get him before he lunges. That's actually better. Yeah. Now I have some control. That knife is not out of control and I know what he's doing. Yeah. Now I can try to disarm him. He's already upset because I've gripped that. So maybe I don't go straight for the knife, you know. Knee kick, now grab. Something like that is good. Yeah. You distract the attention to somewhere else and then go for the knife, yeah. Okay. So what we're going to practice, who's got a knife handy? Oh, so we put the knives back. Oh, that's why everybody's not apparently holding a knife. It's kind of, people learn quick here. If you don't want to be used for the demonstration, pretend you haven't got a knife. Stick it behind the back. Cassia, you're going to do this. So now I'm using left to left, or it would be right to right. Yeah. Slide down so you're on the wrist, and then up there to overextend the wrist and get the knife to come out. Is that clear? Was that a clear enough explanation that you can do it here? Thumb on the bottom. Okay, let's have a go. Okay, that was pretty good. Now, okay, you're there, and your palm can lever on the back of Selena's hand. Now you see the grip has released, and you can just move that. I think you're going to be a bit more decisive about it. Yeah. Carry on. Okay, so let's make it easier. You don't have to put so much effort in. Your knife towards me. Now I've got the grip, and I just flick his wrist, yeah? That's all we need to do, yeah. And there it is. So don't use too much physical strength. We want a quick technique that uses kind of body mechanics instead of brute force. Have you seen? Oh yes, yeah, insects, flying insects, yeah. slowly. Let's try, that, yeah, that right, that was right. Trying to, hold on, let me, I'm trying to see what's the difference. We want to be there. So first of all, hold the arm like that, yeah, with your fingers at the top of your left hand, this hand. Good, okay. Now you slide a little bit and you're on the back of the hand and you just lever it up like that. Yeah. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're just
yeah,
having a look.
yep. Other hand. Okay, so what didn't go quite right was that somehow you ended up with your palm against his palm, and your palm against the back of his hand, and then you just bend the wrist and keep it going like that, yeah. Okay, guys, I think we'll put the knives down just for a little bit. So, I'm going to go on to some different defenses, and first one we're going to practice applying the point of the elbow towards somebody's face. This one is banned in UFC. Anything that's banned in competitions usually works too well for them to allow it. Yeah. So, yeah, you're not allowed to hit with the point of the elbow. Could you throw a punch towards me? Yeah, straight punch. That would hit the temple. That's fine, yeah. An elbow coming in this way. Thanks. That's only the opening of a combination. You can't rely on that. Okay, that's won the fight. Yeah, it's an opening, but it's quite a good one. So first thing we're going to just practice to do this and send the elbows out far apart that way. This is using the muscles of your back to open up that way. Using the back muscles, you get quite a lot of force this way. Yeah. Yeah. This way. Yeah. Good. Good. Now I'd like you to take a focus mitt, one of the small hand pads between each pair, all three, because we're going to practice this on a pad. One per pair, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it's just a, yeah. Bit of a no-brainer, really. What we're going to do is elbow the pad that way. Drive the elbow into the centre of the pad. Yeah. Let's take a look. That's good. Yeah, look at the pad when you hit it. Look at it while you hit it, yeah. Keep your eye on the pad. Yeah. Like that. And another one. Yeah. Yeah, good. And change now who's hitting the pad. Okay. I think that's enough. So we can just put your pad at the side for a moment, put it down somewhere. And now we'll try practicing with a partner. So I want you straight punch with that hand towards me. Yeah. There. Deflect the punch out to the side. Turn your hand to grip. That's the same grip as we've just been doing on the knife, but for the moment, we're coming in that way with an elbow. Yeah. Smashing in with the elbow. Something that I want you to note, you're now behind that arm, making it a little bit difficult for your opponent to hit you with that arm. Yeah? So you can block my attack, but it's quite difficult to hit me with that arm in that position. So I'm quite defended there, and I'm ready to kind of reach out there. So we'll give it a try. Yeah. Grip, elbow in. Yeah. Up. Okay. Be ready to follow it up. Be ready to follow it up. Off you go. Step in, that's great, that's great. Now, yeah. Where are you aiming for with your elbow, tell me? Where were you aiming for? Sorry?
Face.
Okay. I'll tell you why I'm asking. Yeah. What was happening is that your elbow was down there. I was wondering whether you were trying to smash into the throat, but you're not really targeting your strike. Yeah. Into the middle of the face, into the teeth. That's really good. Smash it into the teeth, not the teeth out. Target where you're striking. Yeah. Okay. make sure that you all have a go. Okay guys, so there you go. That's another little technique to add to your collection. I think we'll do a quick follow-up to that. Yeah. Question.
You are kind of pulling the attacker into your elbow.
Yes. Yes.
So they're coming across. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So you're going with their momentum, not against it. Yeah. You're actually pulling them further, and then you come back. Yeah. Now what we're going to do from there is to shift into an arm lock. So I've got his arm locked over my chest. Yeah. Sorry, that's a little bit rough. So we're in a very well set up for an arm lock. Yeah. The opponent's attention is on the elbow to the face when you switch into the arm lock. That makes it easier. So their elbow being overextended against the top of your chest. Anybody not see what I was doing? Anybody not get the idea? Okay, have a go. Have a go, guys. Let's take a look. Good. And the elbow. Throw the elbow in. Yeah. Elbow. Okay, now from that position, extend your arm and pull his arm back over your chest. No, don't move back. Don't move back. Just overextend his elbow. Okay, there you got it. Now you locked him. And he's going down, yeah. Okay. I would like to see that leg behind his leg here, so he can't step out of that technique. Aha, yeah, that's stronger when you're like that. And turn his arm so that you get a really strong lock on the elbow. Yeah, you've got to be directly behind his elbow. Okay, guys, so just for interest, I'm going to grab the knives again. I'm going to grab the knife again. And this can easily be applied. Same technique against the knife. You're kind of going for my neck, upper body attack, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, there. And when I'm there, I can lock the elbow over my body Now drop the knife. Drop it. Yeah. I'm doing what you do and being too nice. Yeah. Again, too much in the habit of being nice to people. When you've got the lock on and you can tell somebody to drop the knife, if you ask them too politely, they won't do it. Yeah. So we better do it again. Come on. Drop it! Okay, yeah. Then it goes fast, yeah, because they're scared. What happened? Why is my elbow hurting so much? And then command, bang, it goes. You've got to be very commanding, actually, when you tell someone to drop the knife. Okay. You want to try it? Yeah.
I'm having problems like shifting his arm back. I don't know, should I move my foot forward?
Show me.
Yeah. Yeah.
There.
But then I don't feel like I'm shifting him back. Is it?
You need to press forward with your chest. No. Keep him in lock like that. Lift your chest and press forward with it, yeah.
Okay, so
And
this
while
is
you
what
pull
it
back
is.
with both arms at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that you're overextending. There, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Now, when you are about to dislocate that joint, somebody is going to tap. Most people will submit rather than have the joint dislocated. Okay, yeah, you lunge towards me. Yeah. Sorry. Now, drop it. Yeah. You drop it because if he doesn't, the arm's going to go. Sorry about the elbow. But you got to be separating that elbow enough that if he doesn't do what you tell him to do, it's going to pop out. Yeah. Now you've got quite strong muscles on your back, so this movement, yeah, it's quite a strong movement. Yeah. And you've got him locked up there, so you can really lever on the arm. Yeah. And then, yeah, you got it. Yeah. Do you need to practice on that? Happy or need to practice more? Do a few more. Do a few more. Practice it a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, that was very good. That was very good. That expression of acute pain is exactly what you're looking for. Could you do it once more? Possibly not subjecting Selena to quite that much pain, but that hand, yeah. Great. Right, and now this leg behind Selena, that's it. So you're kind of trapping her in here. You've got this arm in front, your hip behind. You've got her locked in there, yeah? So that leg positioning is important. Now you've got the elbow lock, and that's it, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Put the knives back. We've finished with the knives for this afternoon. And now the cat gets it. Yeah. Oh. Doesn't look too concerned, does he? There? No, he's gonna rip the mats up in retaliation. Yeah, yeah. I know. He's been thrown out now. Yeah. So he won't be out for long. Back in a minute. Okay. So let me think. Yeah. Switching techniques, very different switch. We're going to have to be a little bit careful with this one if anyone's got a bad back. Priska, I think you can be the volunteer to demonstrate. Now you're behind me, you're getting me from behind, and you got me around the body in a bear hug. The other one, the under the arms, for now. We'll do that one in a minute. There, yeah, that way, yeah. And you've got me gripped hard, yeah. This one, there's a really easy get out, which is this into a leg lock. Yeah. The best ones are always unexpected. Yeah. Out of interest, I've seen this done in competition fights at very, very high level, world championship level competition fights in the Sandar Chinese boxing, where you've got very, very good trained fighters. And if they get it to work, in a proper match, it's a sound technique. It'll work on most idiots. And people they do get you around the body in a hold. That is a fairly common hold. Now, let's just look at what's happening. Yeah, we're going to do it slowly. I've got to go for that leg. Now, as I pull and my hips go back, you're going down. And I've got your knee locked. I've got your knee locked. Whoa. Yeah, bang, yeah. So, it's sneaky and it works quite well. So we're always going to have this what if scenario. Here we go. What if? Yeah. Okay, here we go. What if you have been grabbed from behind by Hulk Hogan, the American kind of pro wrestler. He's probably retired now, but whoever's replaced him, yeah, you know, some absolutely enormous guy who's a professional wrestler with arms like that. Oh, you're in a bit of trouble there, yeah. So there's no technique that's guaranteed to work against everybody. It'll work against most people, but there's going to be somebody who it doesn't work against. You never know if you're going to by surprise and you get that leg locked, yeah, it will, you might just do it. Yeah. But you're never going to be able to beat everybody. Give you another good way to think about this. This is worth thinking about. What if I get into a fight with the UFC heavyweight champion? What am I going to do? You're in trouble, aren't you? Yeah. If I could teach you a technique whereby you could go and beat up the UFC heavyweight champion, well, I wouldn't be here teaching you. I'd have gone and done it already and made a few millions by doing it. Nobody in the world, no teacher in the world is going to teach any of you go and beat up the UFC heavyweight champion. None of you are cut out to be a heavyweight. This is probably really rude, but it applies to me more than it applies to you. Most of us are too old to make it to the top in combat sports. You probably got to start when you're quite young and build up. You're not going to start training to that level when you're 30. So you can't. No one in the world is going to teach you a technique that beats everybody. Okay. There, maybe you pull your gun and you shoot their kneecap out. That's what we're talking about. But if it works on an average person, that's a good start. That's a good start. Okay, so try it, because I reckon it will work on your partner. Yeah, here we go. Down, low, at the ankle. Grab the ankle, yeah. Push back with your hips and pull. Like that. You've got to, as you lean down, your hips will go back, and you've got to push him back with your hips. Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Taking my surprise. It's okay.
Yeah, there you go. There he goes. That was great. That was great. Sorry? Okay, so let's just take one more look at that. I want to see why you're going down with Selena. More that. Right, now grip tight like you mean it, and lift up a little bit. That's your typical kind of grip there. Okay, now you've got to just drop your body weight fast, unexpectedly. Now, okay, there, and there's you in the horse stance. So you have to be quite stable in your stance. The way your body is going to move, as the torso moves forward, the hips move back to counterbalance it. Yeah. Now, there's also pressure on you from behind. So when you come up, you've got to, you're pushing with your leg, but you're also, the hips, the body weight generally is coming forward to counterbalance your torso coming up. So the hips are going to come forward to balance the torso coming up. And if you want to keep pressure on the leg, then you do a twist there. So put the leg lock on. Okay. Guys, let's come together again for a moment. Summary. If you want to be able to do these techniques, you have to practice them and get good at them. Yeah, you have to practice them, get good at them. And if you do them, you've got to do them like you really mean it. Like you're not settling for a draw. You've got to do it like you mean it and you want to win. And that means that if you ever have to do it, you've got to be quite aggressive about it, even if you're not a naturally aggressive person. In that circumstance of having a fight, you've got to be aggressive. Yeah. Okay, so Buddha's son is waiting here to get going with you. Let's come in, Buddha's son. So I'm going to hand over now to Buddha's son, who is going to be teaching you the Shaolin weapons, and it looks very, very much as if we're on the Tantao today. The Tantao translates as single knife. Yeah. The Tao, or Dao it is in Chinese, is the knife, a blade. And in this case, Tan means a single. Shuang Tao is the double. Yeah. Okay.
Hello. Okay, that looked like it was a pretty fun session. Sorry I missed it, but now we're going to get into the Tantao. So I would recommend grabbing some water real quick, right? And then we'll line back up. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to have you. Maybe you'll even come hang out with us someday and swing the Tantao. There is? Your friend, or? Okay, well, they might be coming for the class. They might be... Oh, okay. Before you do that, let's bow in. Yeah. Let's have everyone line up. We'll go ahead and begin class. Come on in and join us. Learn a little something about the Tantao, the single blade. Okay, feet together and bow. All right, so we're going to continue with the Tantao. We're actually going to go back to the beginning because I don't think anyone here really knows the beginning except for Priska and Selena. If you want to grab whatever weapons from the room, feel free, right? It's quite hot outside. You're welcome to come in here. If it's a little too crowded, obviously you can go outside or the other area. But we always welcome your presence in here. Yeah, and you can maybe show these guys a thing or two. Right? All right. Everyone else, grab a stick. So we always start with a stick because starting with a blade when you don't know what you're doing is dangerous, right? Even though these are training blades, not very sharp, but you can cut yourself, you can take a chunk out of your leg. Either way, it's not going to feel good. Hit your ear. grab whatever one you feel comfortable with. Probably not one too long. That one might be a little long because you're going to hit the floor with it. No, yours isn't too long. No, it's not going to touch it because hers is quite long. Because if she puts it like here, it goes above her waist. And so that's a little too long. Same with you, Guy. Yeah, that's too long. That's too long for you. If you put it down and it's going up over your waist, that's going to be too long. Right? Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah. Do you remember some of it? You did the beginning. Oh, on Monday. Ah, okay. Or Tuesday it would have been because the classes were shit. Ah, okay. I didn't realize. Yeah, I was going to think the same thing there. Okay, so a few key things. One, don't hold the end of the piece of wood. You might want one a little longer than that. You went from the longest to the absolute shortest. Maybe somewhere in the middle. Because you wouldn't hold the sword like this, and you'll notice the balance is different. Even if you come up just one fist, the balance is going to be much different. And don't come up super high, because then it's probably too long, right? Because I wouldn't be holding the blade up here, right? So we want to be thinking about a fist or so up. That's where you'd be holding on a normal blade. It's pretty short, but okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's below your waist. That other one it was pretty high. And it wouldn't be terrible, but the issue is you might hit the floor as you swing through, and that's the only reason. You know, ideally, you kind of want a Tonto that's about the length. The blade's about the length here. You know, this is a pretty good length for me. I can swing down without hitting the ground. So these are one of the things to think about. So you're using a stick, so you don't have the blade. So the knuckles, where your knuckles are going to be the blade, right? Put your hand a little bit further down. Yeah, there you go, right? Because it will change how you feel it. You just want to be up one fist from the bottom. If you're practicing at home with the stick, this is what you want to do, right? You don't want to hold the end of the stick. So we're going to start with the very beginning. But when we're thinking, there's a few things we want to think about. One, we're going to be bow and arrow stance for a lot of this, right? And you probably are going to learn a couple of stances that you're maybe not familiar with or you need reminding on. But bow and arrow stance, same as the Xuanyang, right? And this is so that we can use that back leg to get the energy to come through, right? The straightening of the back leg and the 60% on the front allows for the energy to come through, to slice and dice and to kind of do this sort of thing, right? The other thing to think about is slicing, not just hitting with a stick. A prime example, wasn't there a dummy in here? No? Oh. Other than myself? Okay, so we want to think, now this isn't too sharp, so shouldn't cut this, but we want to think slice. That wouldn't slice. That would be this. That's not going to slice anything, that's going to stick into something. So I want everyone to come over here and give it a try, just so you can kind of get an idea of, obviously you have a stick, but come on over, don't be shy, right? You can just get into a line, and I just want you to come through and try to slice it instead of doing this, right? And just come in one at a time, go ahead. You don't need to do it fast, do it nice and slow, and actually hit the bag. Yeah, more or less. Try to slice it across instead of just hitting the end. Yeah, so nice and slow, nice and slow. Get a little closer, slow, right? Yes, so you get that action of what it is to slice, right? Okay, next, just so you have some kind of, yeah, see, that's a little bit more going to get stuck. So try to get a little bit more slice. Yeah. Slice. If you can, extend your arm. Instead of having your arm like this, extend your arm and slice through it. So that would have got stuck, right? That would have done this. So a slice is coming across it, right? Yep, more or less. You're getting there, but you're getting the idea, yeah. So go ahead and get close, guys. You guys are really far away when you're doing this. Yeah. You just want to think. Now, Joe's been here for 3 weeks now, so he's slicing that nice, right? Come on up, Tuba, right? Get a little closer, Tuba. Yeah, no need to be, but yes, exactly, exactly. Slicing through something, right? Slicing it. All right, come on up, guy. You got the right idea. Exactly, slicing something. This is what we want. Yep. I just wanted to have you run through that because so many people end up doing this through the routine, and then they get the sword and they're like, oh, it's completely different because you're never really swinging like this. This is not very good technique. So we want to try to just get that into our minds right away that we're slicing something, right? Okay, so let's actually learn some of the routine, right? So we're going to start with our left hand, holding the sword. It on our left arm like this. So this is going to be our front. This would be we'd come in and we'd bow, right? This is going to be the teacher. If you're doing a grading, Master Ian, on level 7, you grade with this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You do a free hand, and then you have to do the Tonto. So you would be the front audience, right? And we're going to turn to our side like this, right? And we're looking over our left shoulder at the audience. And the first thing we're going to do, you want this in your left hand, guy. Yep, there you go. And bring it up to the Qing Ming. And then this is our salute. So obviously we have something in our hand, so we can't do our typical salute. So this is our way of doing a salute. So you bring the left over, just like in the Sum Chien. Some of you don't know it. Left hand, right hand here, right? Left comes over, and then you're going to turn to the front and salute, right? So the salute looks something like this, right? And if I can, I kind of want to showcase the blade. So this doesn't really showcase it, so I try to get it so it's coming up a little bit, right? But obviously this is a little low for a salute, so you're just trying to find that middle ground where you can showcase it and see it. Now with the step, this is one of the areas you get to put some character into it. So the very easy way to do it is just to step out with the left and come into a cat stance with the right. Cat stance is we're just on the pad of our foot. And really all our weight is on the left foot, and this is just a little cat stance, right? So generally speaking, anywhere is fine, except for this. We don't want it too close. Too close looks a little weird, and if the knee is over your, like too far and over your toes, it just doesn't look like a very comfortable position. This tends to have a little bit more pizzazz, looks a little better, and honestly you have just as much control, if not more so, because everything's not bunched up, right? Let's try that a few times, and then I'll show you how you can put a little bit of sauce in there, right? We like to keep things saucy a little bit, jazz it up. So right hand comes up, we're looking over the left shoulder, left arm comes around, and now we bring them around together and salute, right? Let me see you guys do it. Okay, show me one more time. Right? So Bring the left hand all the way over before doing anything, and then kind of initiate with that left. Bring them together, so it's not just the hands are coming out together, right? So they're coming around together, and then we're saluting. Right, but we're not touching. And the hand is straight. Yes, yes, right? And then you can even add a little bit more jazz to it if you would, right? If I'm gonna face you, you could come in, right? So that's putting some character into it. There's lots of options where you can do it a little bit different. The stepping is the easiest because you don't lose your balance. This is a little bit more, and you can swing it around and bring it across, right? Because I go around and bring it in. So you can, a little more flow of the chi. This is quite dry, right? But it's not wrong. It's just, you know, if you want to put a little bit more sauce, a little more character, a little bit more of your own pizzazz into it, which is why this is an art, right? We're expressing our energy through it. This is one of the moves that you can do that. Just don't have it touching. It doesn't touch. No, at no point are we touching with the other hand. It's here, you know, and it's just something that you can have fun with and play around with, right? Except for you want the weight in the back foot. Yeah. So that front foot's just coming around, but everything's in that left foot. Yep, okay. Looks like everyone's got their own little flavor onto it. We like to see that. Okay, so let's progress from there. So we're going to start, bring it up, come around, give our salute, right? Everyone is in that position with the cat stance. Now you're just going to step. It doesn't really matter if you get into a proper walking stance, because we're just going to go right through this. You step, grab the blade with the right hand, and we're swiping down at a 45-degree angle to clear the way for us to bring that left foot and right foot back through, right? So from here, step down. We're going to go nice and slow. Grab the blade. Clear. And now come out with the left foot and the right foot, right? Ideally, you're in a bow and arrow stance. And then from there, you just bring the blade around to the front. This is the one time you're allowed to touch it with your other hand, and then push. Right? Let's try that again from the salute. So that was quite slow. We're going to pick it up the pace a little bit. If you have questions, please just ask. Right? So we're going to pick it up. You can practice this at home with a stick, right? So, step. I like to bring it back. You can bring it back a little bit. It helps the momentum. You get a little twist in the waist. Swing. Swing. Bring the feet through, and then bring the sword right over the top at the same time. And now push. Extending that back leg, but not shifting the weight further than that front knee. Right? So that front, I don't want to be like this. If you're leaning and you feel up here, we still want the weight in our Tantien. We want to be balanced. And this could be pushing someone off of us or a defense, right? There's a lot of different options there, right? So now let's try it in kind of real time. We'll go from that salute, step, slice, come through, push. Yeah? Let me see everyone else do that, huh? Let's check them out, huh? Let's see what they got. start from the salute. Remember to get 60% of the weight on the front foot, which is your right foot, and pushing through that back leg. So that back leg goes straight, and do make sure that you're shoulder width apart. The tendency in a bow and arrow stance is people get really narrow, but if your shoulders can't fit between your feet, you're too narrow, right? So tuba, push through that back leg. Your back leg is like this. Shift the weight and straighten the back leg. Yeah. It does, yeah. 60% is on the front.
Oh, it's just back jump.
No. Bow and arrow stance, 60% on the front, 40% on the back, and we're straightening that leg and bringing the chi through. Yeah, that looks very good. Yeah. Probably the way I explained it wasn't so clear. So, because we just don't want the knee too far forward, and we don't want to be too far forward. People sometimes have a tendency to push like this, and that's not what we want. Here, we want to keep that back nice and straight. Try to get more push. Yeah. We got the melodic beats in the background. So, show me that again, if you would. Let's see what she has here. Yeah, so it's not a double swing like that. It's a swing, turn the wrist, turn it over. Yeah, so it's not the sword's not coming behind us at any point. We're not trying to do this. It's staying in front of us. And what we're thinking is it's clearing the way for us to kind of jump, right? It's a step, but it's a step that we're closing in on somebody, and now we're pushing them away. So that wrist movement is just once it's outside of your body, turn the wrist over, and then turn it this way. And then bring it back. So it does this nice movement. Yep. Right? We end up doing that wrist turn quite a bit. This kind of idea. So it's good to get used to it. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Again, think you're kind of having this tendency to slice like this. Think slicing in front of you. At no point is the blade ever coming behind me. I'm not doing this and coming back. It's in front. Joe, you're kind of having that same issue where you kind of leak it back a little bit. You want to keep it really in front of you the whole time. Yeah. Yeah. Much better. Yeah. It wasn't terrible before, to be honest. It was just this slight, and then it has to come back. And energetically, if you can straighten that back knee, wow, I can't really talk. If you can straighten the back knee, it's even better. Like use the straightening of that knee to push out. Right? Except for, you probably know there, foot was up, energy too far forward. So, back, straight, in between the two legs, yeah, strong posture. Let's see what you have, Guy. Let's see it. Yep. So try to, right, like this, step, slice here, right? Bring it over, tight, then push. Legs switched. But your legs are opposite, yeah, then push. So we want to have that somewhat tight, almost coming into the blade so we can push it through. Right? Any questions? No, you're all good? Yeah? Okay, let's go on to the next one. So let's start from the beginning, even though I see everyone practicing quite a bit, which is nice. So here we go. We bring it up, the right hand, we bring the blade over, we come out into our salute, step, slice, bring it around, push. Now we're going to have a pretty dynamic movement here, right? You're going to bring the blade back and try to get your forearm. I'm coming back further than you probably need to be. It just needs to be to your side, right? And you want your full forearm and hand resting on the blade. No, this part on the blade. Yeah, so we're having it behind the blade or behind the stick, and then you're going to take that right foot and step out. And they're pretty much parallel, but you're actually in a long bow and arrow stance. Because if you looked at my toe, there it is, and my hips are here, and my feet are slightly this way, right? Long bow and arrow stance is what we're going for. So again, from this position, bring it back. Bring that right foot out. You kind of shift them a little bit, and now we're going to slice across and then come up. And this blade is coming out kind of like with the knee at this 45-degree angle, and you're looking forward. And the thought here is that you just sliced across someone's abdomen, and now you're in a defensive position, right? The lower you can get, the more impressive, but don't feel like you have to go too crazy low. We still don't want to compromise our back. I don't want to have to stick my butt out in order to go too low. We want to stay upright, right? So again, from this position, slice, come out, slice and up. Okay, let me see everybody, if you don't mind. So bring your foot in. So from this position, bring the foot in. We can go real mechanical here. Step out, slice, come up. The back leg is straight. The right knee is bent over the foot, not really over the toes, before the toes. And we're in a long bow and arrow stance, so 60%, 40%. And let's see, let's take a little look at everybody. So, yep, have it a little bit more here, but look forward. Yeah. Because you have to let it slice across and then bring it up. And if you're here, you didn't have it slice across. Slice across right here. Well, if it's too far, if it's here, you didn't slice across, right? So if I'm standing here, go ahead and slice. Yep, no need to bring it all the way high up like that. Well, no, that was good, but you kind of brought it up over your head. It was good. Yeah, this is good. Slicing across, right? You want to give that a try? Slice my belly. Yep, and I would be like standing roughly here. Nice. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. That's exactly the idea. Kasia, you want to try it? Oh, you want to try the whole thing? Okay, awesome. Oh, camera's on now. It's teacher's watching. It's always the hardest when the teacher's watching, right? So give your salute first, and then step. Clear the way for the foot. Yep. Push, right? Push, really push all the way through. Straighten your arms. Yep. On the other side. Yep. So try keeping it like this. and try to slice through the movement. Yeah, see? Well, a slice would be more like this, right? Not just the end. It's not just the end. We don't really want it to do this. It's pretty much parallel to my body the whole time. Yeah. And then no need to bring it back in like this. Slice it up and just bring it up. And it's a defense from that side. You've had a chance. Do you want to try to slice again? Yours is pretty good. Put yours somewhere. Nope. Yeah, you're right there. Yep. But you got to have the arm on there.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I sliced you?
Yeah, but not quite the movement that we want. You were doing it quite nice before. So, from here, right? But you're just stepping straight out to the side. Yeah, more like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Guy, do you want to give it a try? Okay. You don't have to do the whole thing. No, just the slice. Yeah, just that last part. But you want your feet. Yes. Comes out to the side. Keep the arm on there. No. Yep, just like that. You don't want your arm in front of the blade. Just like that. Yep. And slice. And then bring it up. No, don't do that. Don't do this. Slice up. Yeah, don't bring your head. No, my. Chai. Yeah, don't bring the head in there. No. Yeah. Yeah. Something like that, yeah. And Joe? Oh, Joe's going to do the whole thing for us. We like Joe. He has some experience here. Right, and now go into that. I'll come nice and close.
I'm over
Yes.
extending myself.
A little bit. It's hard with me standing there but you want to bring the foot out straight out to the side.
Okay.
So there's no forward step. So from here, bring that foot back.
Okay.
And then step out to the side and slice.
So if I'm here,
Yep.
bring it back.
As you do that.
Step out to the side.
Yes, exactly. A little bit more like that.
I'm looking 45.
You're actually looking straight, but the blade is 45.
So I'm looking here.
Yeah. So it's going to look something like this. Right? We just pushed. I bring it back. I sliced up, and I mean business. Right? Give that face, give that expression, that character. But I'm not looking here. But I'm defending there. And I just am looking at the next opponent, because that opponent's on the ground, holding, yeah, their stomach's open. I got to see what they had for lunch. Right? There we go. There's some pad thai. Right? So that's kind of the idea there. So let's start from the beginning and go through it one time, and then we'll add another move. You guys are getting through this pretty quick. You're looking good. So easy when you have good students. Any student who's trying is a good student, just so you know. Right? So here we go. Right? Come up. Salute. Grab the blade. Step down. Clear. Push, extending that back leg. Bring the blade back with the leg, step out, slice, and come up. Right, everyone's in this position. Now we're gonna come back to center. Gonna bring that blade around and do a 45-degree slice into the collarbone. Right, so it's slice. And now we're gonna do this step where you just put your left foot right in front of the right foot. And you're going to do that same motion where you're bringing it around. And once the blade gets to about halfway through, you're going to step with the right foot and do the same cut. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So step with the left, bring it around to defend, step with the right, slice. Step with the left, bring it around, step with the right, and slice. Right, so you do that slice a total of 4 times, and that left hand is kind of just following the right hand, right? And we're bringing it around as a form of defense, and then you bring it over that right shoulder, and we want a 45-degree cut. So try not to hold the end. Yeah, because it makes a difference on the weight distribution. And try to, instead of leaking it out like this, try to bring it over the shoulder into a 45-degree, right into someone's collar. You can think your height. Yeah. And then we just hold it there. Yes?
Is the right coming to the left? So like.
Yes.
Okay.
Unlike the other one where they're not ever meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, so you step with the left and then the right just comes up and meets it. So when you make that slice, the feet are together, right? So let's come again from this position. And going to go a little bit faster. Bring the foot up and spin it around, slice. Step, step, slice. Step, step, slice. Step, step, slice. Right? And then there's ways to make that, you can get some shoulder movement, but I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. Let's just try to remember those moves. So, should we do it one more time? Okay. Start from the beginning? Okay. Do you want me to talk or just? Yeah, no, okay. I don't have to. I don't have to talk. I can just do the move and you can follow. We'll see how that goes, right? Okay, begin. Yeah? It's not meant to be. Yeah, you don't really want them ever touching, but in general, the left hand's usually doing 2 things in the Kung Fu. It's either staying in the center line, in the free hand, and in the weapons, it's oftentimes following, and in this one, it's lots of times following the wrist. Now, how close or how far is kind of dependent on the individual, but this is too far, and this is too close, right? So you want to have it somewhere. For me, it's about here, but when you see Master Ian, his hand is sometimes out here, but you can still see that he's using it with the chi, right? Some people bring it all the way over their head like this. For me, I just stop right here and then bring it back forward. So again, there's slight variations because everyone is a little different, but we want to follow the Kung Fu principles. And the one here is that we're slicing with the collarbone, right? And we're trying to so try to stabilize, and the feet are together when you're slicing. You were doing well, you said it. It's your first day. It's been a long day. You learned a lot of things. Yeah, Sunday's a hard day. Yeah, you start on Sunday. Just for those of you who know at home, you learn 5 routines. You learn 2 different sections with about 3 different parts of self-defense against weapons, against freehand. It fries the brain. There's a lot going on. Plus all the conditioning, there's a lot going on. So, from the beginning, this time I'm going to talk a little bit for me, for the camera, for those who maybe can use it. And we bring the hand up, salute, right? And now you're going to step, bring that blade clear, coming through, push, extending that back knee. right? Bring it back, legs together. Step out with the right foot. Shift the weight as you slice. Looking forward, coming back, feet together. Collarbone, step, step, collarbone. Step, step, collarbone. Step, step, collarbone. Yeah? Yeah? Getting there? Yeah? Feeling good? Okay. Let me... How are you doing, Selena? Keep practicing, everybody. Keep practicing. If you do need to get water, you're adults, you can get water. But keep working over that. If you have questions, please ask me. What's that? Okay. Would you like me to look at anything? Okay. Yeah. Just checking in with you. Yeah. If I see something, I might say something, but I'm not really looking, so. So let's try that again. Really finish the moves. So from here, bring that foot way out, right? Slice, finish. No, don't turn. That's what we want. We want it up against there. This is not what we want. We want something like that, right? Yeah, much better defense, right? And now bring the feet back together and let that come around. Slice, right? So take a step with the left, step with the right, bring it around, slice. Step, step, slice, step, step, slice. That's what we want. Yeah, of course. Don't get that, no, keep your head. Look at me. No, keep that, just turn your head. Yes, chai, yes. Okay. No, bring this foot. Here. Here. Yep. Around. Ha. Step, step. Around. Ha. Right? Step, step. Ha. And now, as you step, yeah. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Not such a big step. It's just your heel to your toe. Yes. Let's see it. Yeah. How you doing, Tuba? How you doing? I heard a big sigh. Yeah. Ah. So you want your feet together there. It's not really in a V, because the V would make it weird to step, but if that's more comfortable, you can have it that way. They don't have to be exactly right together, but generally it's just a forward step. It's just a step, step, very samurai style with the step. It's just a little, yeah. Yeah, they don't have to be touching right next to each other. They can have a little space, you know. A little V might be okay. I don't think you want a big V, because then the balance is a little weird. Yeah, try to bring it over the shoulder instead of around the shoulder. Yeah, the 45 is this. So the 90-degree angle we're thinking about is our head to our shoulder. So the 45 from there is this. So I'm coming over my shoulder like this into someone else's shoulder, 45. So you want to keep it up because that's where you'd make the contact. So do it again. Yeah, a little better. Yeah. Looking good, looking good. This class is easy. Good students. They're paying attention. So don't use that hand. No, why is your left hand touching the blade? Yeah, don't ever touch the blade with the other hand, please. Yeah, we don't want to do that. It's not a. And that's what you were doing, right? Yeah. Yeah, so just have the left hand come up and down. Easiest way to do it. Up, down. Don't go and grab anything. Yeah. And if you can, have it come over the shoulder. Yeah. You're gonna hit me in the shoulder. Yeah, hit here. You want it to come here. So come down at a 45-degree angle right here. That's what we're thinking. Right? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's okay. Right? Yeah, that's what we're thinking. There we go. Yeah. Ouch. That would hurt. We'll be done. Bleeding on the floor. Thankfully, it's just a stick, right? Yes, like that. That was very good. And don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Yeah, don't be afraid. I see you doing this. Right? You're not going to slice anything like that. Right? Let the arm come out. It's not a, right? We're not a little mouse. We're not so meek. Let that energy out. Yeah, let it out. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's what we want. Way better, right? Just not such big steps. And bring the feet together. The first step is actually really good. Just don't let the front foot come out. Just have them come together. It's like a little shuffle step. Yep. Working the left and the right brain together here, right? Left side, right side. It's not just about learning how to use a sword, it's actually learning how to coordinate our body. This is the nice thing about training with the Kung Fu weapons, is just have your feet together. Yeah, so step, 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 step. Nope. Step, both feet together, slice. Slice. Slice, yeah, chai, yeah. From chop, yeah, this is good. Yes. Last step. No. First, that's the first one. From here, we step back here. Come up. Yeah. Stays same. Same. Come up. Slice. 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 Sam. Feet together when you slice. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, so that's tricky, but let's move on to the next one, right? Let's start from the beginning. Keep going. Just wait. We're going to get a nice turn and a jump, and we're really going to work you. Yeah, that move's going to be difficult. And that's probably as far as we'll get to, because then you want to practice that. Right? So, starting from the beginning, right hand up, bring it across, salute. Step with the right, slice, bringing both steps through, pushing through that back leg. Bring it back to the hand, step out with the right foot, slice up, looking forward, coming back. 1, step, 2, step, 3, step, 4. Right? Everyone's right here? So from here, you're going to bring the blade over. Step back. Pull that front foot back into a cat stance as you bring the blade across your body. And we're ending in a position like this. So from here, right? In a typical, bring it across, step back, pull that front foot, right? And you end up in this position. And, right? Our hand is in our center line, and it's not touching the blade. It's there in case the blade got pushed back into us, it'd be a form of protection, right? So again, from here, bring it over, step back into position. Your right hand is really just a little bit out of the shoulder so that the blade is covering really your whole body, right? It's a nice defensive position, and my hand is right behind it. You know, I'm not touching it. There's space there. There's space. We generally don't want to touch the blade. Our oils on our body will rust the metal, right? Try not to lean back too much. We still want the weight here, so it's there, but we don't want to be like, have our back. We want our back as straight as possible, right? So it's kind of going straight up and down from that back leg. Yep, and just turn the hand. Now you can take a little bit more of a step back, and then you pull the foot, or you can just do that. That'll work too, right? I personally like to step back and pull the foot into position. It's easier for me to get into a cat stance. Personally, I think it looks a little nicer, but there's nothing wrong with the other way. No, you were good there. You weren't leaning back. You had the weight to shoot. Before, your back was like not straight, but yeah. 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 You're really just bringing it over and back across. Right? And in this routine, we've gotten to the end of the line. And every time you get to the end of the front of the line, this is the move you do. And it's going to follow, you do the same move afterwards, where we do this turn. Everyone feeling somewhat comfortable with that move? Yeah? The next one's the challenge one. Yep. You don't have to go back so far, but it's not wrong that you do. Yeah. Right. Nice and easy. I've done it a million times, so it's... Because we come from this position, we just bring it over. No need to bring it all the way out here. Right? So I'm in this position. I don't need to bring it over here and across. That's kind of wasted movement. So I just bring it over to my left, step back. Now, from this position, now it gets tricky. We're going to drop the left heel, turn on the right heel, and do that same kind of cut that you do in the beginning, which is this 45-degree cut. But you really got to get your hips turned all the way, right? So let's get everyone just to do that move there. Joe, you might probably ahead of everyone here because you know this move a little bit. Drop the heel, turn, right? So let's get everyone to the point where they're like this, They've turned on the heel, right? And your hips are facing the other way. And from this position, you're going to do that slice and do a 180 turn, and usually with a jump. So something like nice. Yep, have it right behind you. Okay, keep doing that. What you just did, both of you, was great. That was excellent. Yep, same with you, Joe. Exactly what we want. Now we're going to go into a cat stance from that position. So you're going to pull that front foot up into a cat stance. My pants are a little baggy. And just end with it right here, right? And you're going to bring it around, and this is where it gets tricky. You want to lead with the hilt, and you're going to come down the elbow and around the elbow, and then slide it out the hand. My right hand is over my right shoulder. My left hand is inside my left shoulder, but not center. That way the blade isn't straight. It's covering my whole body. So it's better for defense. My right hand is taller than my left hand. My left hand is roughly right at my eyebrows. No, left hand. Yeah, so like this. Yeah, but away from your body. Not here, way out. Yeah. Right? The right hand doesn't have to be straight, but we're looking underneath our left hand, and it's right there. Okay? So, we'll go nice and slow here, right? So, we just did this. Drop the heel, turn, slice, come back. We're in that cat stance, and it's right here, right? Everyone's here. Pull it down on the outside of the elbow. Outside. Yeah, so it's really on that tricep. Tricep, and then once it's past that, bring it up the forearm. So you're just wrapping it around the elbow. It feels weird and awkward at first because it's like, where do I put that left hand? But you do it enough times, and it just gets out of the way. Yes. Yeah, because you're not leading with the hilt, you're doing this, and that's not what we're doing. What we want to do is we want to lead with the hilt. Yeah, and bring it to the outside of your arm. So bring your arm's way out here. It's going to be really hard to do that, so tuck it in a little bit more. Yeah, and then bring it around that elbow and slide it out to the hand. And have it resting on that blade, not the back of the hand. Right around that elbow. Yeah, you can come down, come up. Yep. Yeah, it's right over my hand. Yeah, not on my wrist, it's on my hand. Yes. Other side. Yep. Yeah. If you can, well, you want it over the finger here, over this. This is the tricky move. So if you can, bring it to the outside of the elbow. Outside of the elbow. No, this part to the outside of. This is why you don't want to hold on to the end. Yeah. And you want to bring the hilt to the outside. To the outside. Yep. And then wrap around the elbow. Yep. And now pull it up. Yep. And let it slide down and have your hand underneath there. Yep. Just like that. Yeah. It's awkward. So bring in your elbow more, because your elbow's too far out, you can't get your hand around it. So bring it in. but come over this shoulder. So. Yep, but. Over your eyes, more like this. Yeah. What's here? And we want our hips facing forward, right? Try to turn your hips, have the weight in your back foot, and your front foot is in a cat stance. Yes. So don't bring it all the way over here. Have it here and allow it to come this way, right? So it's coming across my shoulder and my arm, and then the mistake people make is they bring that all the way over here, and then they're like, I don't understand. And it's like, start from the center. Have it in the center so that when you bring your hand over, it comes across here, here, and then slides up. I don't know how you end up with your hand on top of it. That's skilled. You got some skills there, Tuba. Just like that, Joe. Yeah.
But then I get,
I would recommend not holding the end of the,
yeah, here,
right?
there.
Yeah. And just come back up. Yeah. So it's just this around the elbow. Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to get it at first. Once you start to get it, it's like, oh, I don't know why that was so difficult. But it's very difficult in the beginning. So be patient with yourself. Yeah. Now just square your hips up. Yeah. So let's try to just do that move. Starting from here. We are going to go through the whole thing again, but let's start from here. So turn, drop the left heel, turn the right heel, slice, 180-degree turn, drop that right foot, come into a cat stance and bring it up. Did we lose the Osmo? That was just some fun camera work. Okay, let's see it. Let's see this move from everybody. So you're starting from here. Left foot forward, drop, turn on that right heel, slice, come back around. Yeah, Tuba, the reason that you're ending up there is because you're coming across the forearm and you want to come across the tricep. No. Keep it here. Bring it over your shoulder like this. Yep. Now pull in your elbow. Get it around the elbow. Not the inside of your body. Keep it on the outside. So here, around the elbow. Yes, just like that. Yeah. And so the easiest way to do that is by keeping the sword somewhat in the center of your body. When you drop it, it's just coming over that shoulder. It's not way over here. It makes it really difficult if you do that. And then when that elbow comes up, you kind of pull it into your body. It's going across my tricep. Now it goes up and down. So you want to get it to the outside of the elbow. Outside of our elbow, then inside of the elbow. Boom. And the right hand is taller than the left hand. Other way. So not this, this. Yep. Yes. Except for you want your hands above your eyebrow. Right, left hand. So we're not here, we're here. And it's on the hand, not the wrist. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I don't expect everyone to really get it in one session. If you do, magnificent, awesome, but it's quite challenging. But let's go from the very beginning. Let's see how well our brain's working, right? So, here we go. Come up. Salute. Grab the sword. Step. Push. Pull it back. Step out. Slice. Come up. Step. 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 Step back. Now we're going to drop that left heel, turn on the right heel. Come into a cat stance, bring it around the elbow, come up. You keep wanting to do this, and if you did that, you would slice your arm open. This is why we practice on the wood. So, outside of the elbow, outside of the elbow. Tuba. Put it on your shoulder like this. Lift up your elbow. Outside. Now around. Just like that. Yeah. What you keep doing is you keep bringing it way out here, and then there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. And then it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. And then before you know it, you're cutting your arm off, right? This is why we don't practice with blades until you know the routine, because by then you probably are good enough where you're not going to hurt yourself. And to be fair, these aren't very sharp. Also for that reason, there is one in there that can be quite sharp. It's definitely a different type of metal. It's very intense. This is more like a training. You wouldn't really, even if I sharpened this up, it wouldn't be that effective in a fight. But there is a sword in there, Master Ian's sword. It's quite heavy, and if you sharpened that one up, yeah, it's battle ready. You know, and if you see some of the old weapons from Singapore, they were used in battles. They are battle ready. The people from Singapore used the weapons legit, and you can tell because they're heavy. They're very, very heavy, and it's like, oh, this would hurt somebody, and if you sharpened it up, it could do a lot of damage. We generally keep them all dull here. We're training our body, we're training our mind. There's no need to cause injury. Okay? We want to avoid that. Okay, so let's keep going with that. That's not an easy sequence, but it looks kind of, right? I mean, we can add a move, but I don't think we necessarily need to, because, I mean, next week we're going to do the cane. The next move is just your classic 90-degree turn, and I think you already know this. Don't fries your brain out there, Kasha. Yeah. Just stick with this. Stick with this. This is a lot. Yes, Tuba. Yes, that was it right there. Yes.
Is it easier to learn if you rewind it? First you show this, and then rewind.
Okay. All right. I'll remember that for next time. Thank you. Yep. Yes. Yeah, you do. You bring the sword over, step back into that cat stance. Yep. Drop that left foot, turn on the right. Yep, get a little jump there. I find it easier if you actually jump, right? Because it gets the weight to the back. Yep, yep.
Put them all together.
Yes.
From here, you protect the left, protect the right.
Yep. Turn 90 degrees. Yeah. So we're here.
Yes.
Bring up the left knee across the body, protect it, and turn. Yep. And when we do this, we step back into a cat stance.
We're facing instruction.
Yes. Now you would start the side section. I'm not sure you learned the side section. You learned a little bit of it
Yeah.
with the slicing, but the side section's in a block, come up,
Oh no.
stab, slice, 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 stab. This is the part you learned. Boom. Again, again, and you do the same sequence. Whoops. Bring it over, sink down, jump out of the way, collarbone, come underneath, stab, slice. And then this is the part you learned. Here, here, here. Right? And then come around, come around, come around, stab. Here, I'm going to be coming right at you, Tony. Oop. Come around, kick, slice. Here. Here, bring it around, slice, slice, and there. And that's the routine. Yeah. Just to give you a picture of what it kind of looks like, so you can see. Yeah, coming along nice. Try not to shift the weight to the front foot when you do that, but looking good. You kind of did. But looking good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one, you don't necessarily want it to bring it down so low. It's more, you stop at the collarbone and bring it around. But it looked all right. It looked good. Yeah, that last one there, before that was really nice because you were here and you just brought it over instead of here and going around.
So I don't go around.
You do, but you don't go all the way down and around. So it's here. My hand never goes down below my shoulders again. Yeah, it's not a, because that doesn't protect us. So this is a protection. You're protecting your body when you bring it around like this. And then you're getting that momentum. But if I do this, I'm leaving my whole side open. Yeah. Ooh, is it time? I think it might be time. Well, we thank you for joining us. We're gonna bow out now. So put away the toys. Everyone did good work. Try to practice it. Master Ian will probably go over some more of it tomorrow at the 5 o'clock class, right? If you're feeling like that was a lot, you can ask him just to help you review. But we got the whole front section and we're ready for the side section, right? Okay. And bow. Thank you, everyone. Time for dinner. Well deserved. It's been a long day, nice and hot. Thank you for joining us online. Maybe someday you'll come hang out with us and learn the Tonto or some of the other routines or some of the self-defense that we do here in northern Thailand. And yep, thank you and enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or morning.